What's up, everybody? We are live. You're watching Brawlin' Babes with Brittany, and today I have a very special guest. Welcome, Jake, from the Fighting Now podcast. How are you today? How was your weekend?
It was definitely incredible, definitely amazing to get a chance to watch all these fights. But I will tell you this though, it is an honor to get a chance to be a part of your show. I know a couple weeks ago we got you a chance to have you on my show, so thank you for allowing me to get a chance to be on here.
Oh, absolutely, man. It's an honor to have you. Your fight knowledge and just your consistency in the, for promoting the fight world is I mean, you are above par, homie. Like, I don't know how you manage the time to keep up the way you do. Like, kudos to you. I know that I slack sometimes in the sharing and posting realms. I definitely don't do it daily. I definitely don't do it when the algorithm gods want me to do it to up my views and all those things. But I'm just here to have a good time. You know what I mean? Not necessarily become anything major out of it. If it happens, it happens, and then it's meant to be. We've got a viewer already. Hi, Michael. How are you? Michael is my graphic designer. So if you ever need help with any graphic design work, he is the man, dude. He did all of my logos. He's got an entire website just designated for bare knuckle memorabilia. Um, it's just amazing. The Donnybrook Company. You should definitely give them a check. They have some. I mean, the posters he makes for these BKFC events are fucking phenomenal. He's a really good dude all the way around. So definitely look him up if you need any help with any like graphic media stuff. I don't know. Do you do your own work or how does that?
So this is something really interesting about my logo and everything. So before I started doing like my own stuff, I was on a podcast called the Jay and Trey Show, Jay and Trey Podcast, whatever it may be. But I asked one of the guys, I was like, I need a really good logo. I need something really incredible. So I was like, so me and him, we stayed up to about maybe about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So like, okay, how about this? But we have the logo that we have, which is pretty much a fist. And I'm like, there was one inspiring quote that Christine Fierro told me. And I really want to get a chance to add that to the logo. And she always told me, think like a champ, act like a champ. So I was like, okay. So I'm like, is there any way we get a chance to have that on there? And he did. It pretty much came out incredible. So that's how we ended up getting the logo that we did now. I would love to get a chance to have more than just like the one certain logo because that would be really incredible. So I might have to just hit him up for sure.
Yeah, like so and that was kind of what I did is I had a couple of different ideas for my logos in my head. You know what I mean? I thought I wanted like this whole championship belt look and that's what you see up there in the corner, you know what I mean? I like to incorporate my personal little side business, Bee Lit Organic. So there's a teeny tiny little bee in there. And then I was like, but it's Brawlin' Babes with Brittany. So how can I like incorporate all three B's, like B cubed or B3, like B3? Yeah, I don't know. You know what I mean? So I just spewed all these ideas out at him, and this is what he created me. And it was fucking beautiful. It's phenomenal. I get so many compliments on it. He does really great work. And I know I've got more viewers in here. Wesley Kill Eagle Jr., he has the Kill Eagle promotions out in Montana. If you do need a graphic designer, Michael is the dude, man. He does really great work, really phenomenal work. Well, that's awesome, dude. So tell me a little bit more about the Fighting Now. When did you open it up? How did it come to be? What started it? What sparked this idea?
So pretty much at the time, and I was a really huge wrestling fan. I have a bunch of belts, T-shirts, etc. And I keep following the boxing scene around West Virginia. So I was like, I noticed that these girls are not really getting the attention that they deserve. And I followed a couple of MMA fighters from the state of West Virginia. And I was like, I wonder if I can be able to get a chance to change that. And all I kept thinking about was that I noticed a lot of these women fighters do not get the recognition, do not get the opportunities that they don't deserve. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, you know what? I'm sorry, but wrestling, it can hold off to the side. I want to get a chance to build something really incredible for the women, for MMA, for pretty much all women in combat sports or even jiu-jitsu. So I pretty much just took all the fighters I have at one point and started just sharing them constantly. And it got into where it started being really huge, really huge. I did not expect the page to be that big already immediately. I've spent, pretty much about maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years on the page, and already we're already up to 5,000 followers.
Yeah,
Now,
you're doing
now,
great, dude.
now the interview side, this is what's really, really incredible to see is that, during my time with the Jay and Trey podcast, like Justin and Trey, they start bringing in all these guests, and they're like, "Why don't you bring in someone, Jake?" He goes, "Like, we never hear anything from you. We never see anything from you." He goes, "Why don't you bring in someone that we may not know?" So I was like, "Okay." So they want me to have that first impression. So I was like, "Hmm." So at the time, this woman, pretty much was undefeated, and she's pretty much really popular in bare knuckle. I'm like, why don't I just bring in Taylor Sterling? So I messaged Taylor and I said, "Hey Taylor," I said, "I know this is kind of random," and I never really asked anything from Taylor at that point. And I was like, "Would you be interested in doing a interview for a podcast?" And may I remind you, these guys do not know anything about bare knuckle. They don't know anything about Taylor Sterling. And so I was like, "Guys, I have it. I have someone, and she's really incredible. Probably one of the best bare knuckle fighters you ever get to see." And goes, "Who?" I said, "Taylor Starlin." So I sent them the fight between her and Carissa, which won Fight of the Year, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, she gets a chance to join our show." And that's where it led up to the interviews. I started having her, Amy Peduto, Sandra Arndt, I think Jillian Robertson from UFC fighter Jillian Robertson. And to me, though, it was like, don't get me wrong, the podcast at one point, it was great. I can't thank Trey and Justin enough at one point, but I'm like, I want to get a chance to do my own stuff. So I pretty much transformed this video game account that I have, and I was like, let's change things up a bit. So I added the logos, I added the banners, and I said, why don't we just get things started? So that's when I started getting involved with StreamYard as much as I know and love. And and pretty much I have on the person that got to be interviewed for the first time at Miss Kira Martinez. She has her
Nice.
merchandise because to me though, not only was she the first person I ever got a chance to interview outside of the podcast, but to me, and she is like one of my best friends in the whole entire world. She has made an impact. So to her to get a chance to be my first ever official guest, to me it means a lot more than what people think it is because it was the start of something incredible. And then ever since then, I've been working on the consistency of the page and the consistency of the YouTube channel. And so I just want to give her a shout out real quick, Kara Martinez. Go follow her on Instagram if you guys haven't.
Yeah, yeah, she is fantastic, dude. Yeah, like I said, I slack in that game, with the consistency of the posting and the page. And maybe not slack. I know I've let off these last 2 weeks. I did take a personal week off just to play catch up here around the house and at home and with the kids and you know what I mean, do all that. And then ended up having some family emergencies that hit and it just snowballed from there. So that really kind of turned into 2 weeks. So you're kind of popping my cherry back after my little 2 week hiatus here. And I'm just honored to have you. You've really worked with and done some amazing things for the women of the combat world. And like you said, they don't get the credit that they deserve. They don't get the all around the board. They don't get the pay. They don't get the promotion. They don't get the credit and the hype that they deserve. And
Yeah.
and you know, I'm not trying to. I don't want to sound like I'm hating on this aspect of it, but I feel like females have this pressure that they have to post, specific kind of like pictures in bikinis or lingerie and stuff like that as an athlete to promote their career as well. And it's unfortunate because you don't see that in the male athletes. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
pressure is even on them. Because I've talked to women who are like, yeah, I've thought about it, but that's really just not me. I don't want to put myself out there like that. It's cool for the other girls, and it really is because don't get me wrong, like I love it just as much as any other man on the earth does. But but just the fact that pressure is there is just unfortunate, and so I want to be able to, like you said, give these women a platform to be able to come on and promote themselves or promote their fight or tell their story. You know, it doesn't even have to be about fighting. If you want to come on here and just shoot the shit with me and tell your story about why you started competing or what put you in combat sports or, you know, whatever it may be, that's what I'm here for. I choose combat sports as my source of entertainment. I don't watch TV. I don't watch, you know what I mean, series and reality show. I don't do all that. I don't do The Bachelor. I'm not that kind of girl. I watch combat sports. You know what I mean? So
Oh yeah.
to give them this extra avenue to be able to say what they want, not, you know, be censored. That's where my MO is. And I know we have the same love and drive for that. One of my amazing sponsors here, Just Blaze Clothing Company, in the comments. Hey there. If you guys need any hats, I got to give my homie a shout out real quick. Hang on. But any hats, t-shirts, ashtrays, rolling trays, you know, all the things you need to keep your mind just right and to stay just blazed. They've got you covered. They have all of the Brawling Babes with Brittany official merchandise too. T-shirts with the many different logos on them in many different colors and sizes. Use code Team Blazed for 10% off at the checkout. Good people over there at Just Blaze Clothing Company. I'm super happy with their sponsorship and with them all the way around. So what did you think about this weekend's fights? Let's roll it back. I mean, there was a huge weekend for women combat sports. There was the boxer card out in UK, the first ever all-female boxing card. I want you to break that down for me. I want your opinion on those. And then the BYB and the BKFC cards, a huge weekend for women in combat sports. So I want to hear your take on all of it.
So you'd be surprised that outside of work, how much time I have my hands to just be able to get a chance to watch these. The all women's boxing card was just simply phenomenal. They hyped it up to where it needed to be. ESPN brought it along, and to me though, I'm glad to get a chance to see sponsors like ESPN, Fox, whatever it may be, because these women deserve the opportunity that they deserve. They hyped it up, and I'm telling you all this, so the hype lived up to it because each and every single fight was just so incredible. The main event with Savannah Marshall and Clarissa Shields was simply phenomenal. Went to the judges, and at the end, it was Clarissa Shields. I stuttered, so my apologies. That was phenomenal. So I gotta give kudos to everyone. I don't get a chance to post enough boxing content as much as I should, but yet I do got to give these ladies a round of applause because they did phenomenal. As far as the BYB, which I'll have a little bit of some breaking news. As far as one of the BYB female competitors later on, but the BYB show, the card was just incredible. But I gotta give kudos to the ladies. Wow, wow, wow. They made history by having the first ever female bout down in England and bare knuckle. That is a huge historic moment for them. So shout out to them. And of course, the co-main event, I got to give them as much credit as they deserve as well. Miranda Barber?
Yeah.
She did good. I'm trying not to butcher her last name. Was it Cotton or?
Yeah, Josette Cotton.
Cotton and Barber, they straight up just killed it. To me, though, I feel like that fight should have been the main event, but I'm glad to see where those girls got a chance to be able to have that spot on the card as they should. So shout out to Cotton and Barber because they put on such an amazing fight. Of course, congratulations to Cotton on winning that title. I know how much that means to her. And of course, the bare knuckle fight, which you got a chance to go see down there in Denver, which by the way, I was telling Amanda Komotzi about this last night. I love y'all's crowd so much. I love it. I love the atmosphere that you guys have for bare knuckle. Courtney Cameron against Crystal Pittman. Wow.
Banging fight.
Wow. Wow. To me, if that's not one of the fight of the year categories, I don't know what else should, because that was simply incredible. For anyone who doesn't know, Pittman's been involved in this for quite some time, taking on a new up-and-comer in Courtney Cameron. She's no stranger to fighting whatsoever, but however, she is a stranger when it comes to bare knuckle. And by gosh, her first ever fight, she straight up killed it. It was incredible. It was phenomenal. I can just rewatch that fight over and over again. And if you guys miss this fight, go download the bare knuckle app. It's only $5 a month. It's not bad. It's you pretty much just get a chance to have anything with $5. But to me, go get it. Go watch these ladies kill it. I was so happy to get a chance to go on my lunch break this past Monday and see that those two ladies got the fight of the night card, got the fight of the night award. Because to me, that they deserve so much. They deserve so incredibly much. And to me, if you think about this, so Brittany, these women this entire year have killed it the entire year. Like, my gosh. I mean, first, I mean, we saw what happened between Fiera and Starlin. Then we move on to see what goes down between Pittman and Cameron. I, I,
Yeah,
I,
and I mean, you can't even leave out like Britton Beltran dropped down to 115 and dominated Teresa Segala. Like that was
and
incredible, and kudos to her. She's been kicking her ass in bare knuckle. You know what I mean? She was fighting girls bigger than her at 125, so it was
yeah.
only made sense for her to drop down to 115 and then take that belt. Um, what you know, I'll be the asshole. Like, don't get me wrong. I am so fucking happy and like cried happy tears for these girls, Sonia Drelling, Jamie Driver, Miranda, and Josette. Like, I cried happy tears for them. To watch women's combat sports evolve in real time is beautiful. It's unfortunate that it's taken to 2022 for it to get this far, but I'm grateful that it's coming along. But I will say, like, as a fan slash like fanatic, I find it really frustrating when a fighter misses weight.
Oh gosh, yeah. Um, to me, let me go ahead and tell you my thoughts on this. If you want, if you want to go ahead, if you want to go ahead, go ahead. But
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
see, to me, whenever a fighter misses weight, that's kind of slap to the face to your opponent because they put in as much sacrifice, as much training to get to the weight that pretty much what it says on the contract in the first place, and then your
Mhm.
opponent misses weight. That's like like why? Like why sign up to a fight that you know you can't be able to make the weight? I
Right.
don't understand that. I don't understand like because to me it seems like these fighters don't really care. I mean, pretty much. So you mean tell me that the plane ride to the venue doesn't really matter. The time and effort that they've done to lose this weight doesn't mean anything. I mean, I just don't understand that.
You
And
know,
plus, another thing that really gets me, I hope you can agree with me on this, is fighters who pretty much expect what they want. I'm not going to call out a certain fighter, but yet if you are scheduled to fight on a certain card, regardless of how many tickets that have been sold at that venue, you're not going to get a full sold out crowd. I mean, it can be impossible, but if you do, then congratulations. But regardless, do the fight in the first place. Take the time because your opponent's doing the exact same thing. Training, working hard. When it comes to mental and physical game, that shit's not easy. That shit is not easy. So to me, to see fighters just pretty much had that self ego to say, I don't care. I mean, yo, let's reschedule the fight. It's pointless. It's pointless to even do that shit.
yeah, no, I agree. I agree. And don't get me wrong, like I haven't spoken to Jamie yet, you know, and honestly, it's none of our business. And I'm just saying this is hearsay, rumor on the street, but is that she had some family issues, you know, during her training camp that kept her from training, you know, as properly as she wanted to and kept her from getting the weight off as properly as she wanted to.
Mhm.
Now, I understand not wanting to pass up this opportunity, but on the same note, if you are faced with the fact that, you know, you're not going to give your 100, so you know what I just don't feel like, you know, like the like that's a tainted win in my mind. You know what I mean? That win is just a little too salty for me. But
Yeah.
I, again, I'm no athlete. I can't do what she does anyway. I had family shit go on last week and I couldn't even get on here and talk to people. You know what I mean? So for the fact that she was still able to get out there and perform and do what she does and go away with the win, you know, kudos to her. and even bigger kudos to Sonya Drilling for taking the fight. Like, no point in getting all the way out here and then not taking it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I hope she charged her for every pound she was over too. Like
Yeah.
$10 a pound, homie, at a minimum.
I don't know how the money is, but yeah, I agree. And it's just when it comes to Jamie, I'll get a chance to talk to her more about this because next week I will have her get a chance to join me on StreamYard for an interview. So I'm excited
Perfect.
about
I'll
that. I'm
I'll make
excited to get
sure
a
to
chance to
tune in
hear
because I
about
want
these
to
things.
know. Yeah, I want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to be saying false rumors and what word on the street kind of stuff anyway. But I will say that's what I have heard. I can't say if it's true or not. If you talk to her, find out. Inquiring minds want to know, and I'll even be glad to be the asshole and ask in the comments. You know what I mean? I will always be that person that says the things that are uncomfortable that nobody else wants to say. So I'm good with that role. You know what I mean?
See, to me though, it's like to me, I had no reason to talk shit because to me, I'm not a fighter myself. I've only been
Right.
trained. That's about it. Just training wise, that was like back in middle school. We're talking about here. To me, I had no right to say about that certain athlete because I don't know what they go through. But to me though, it's how they bust their ass. It's how they pretty much work on what they do to be able to be where they are. As far as the weight cut, to me, I had no say in that. I don't want to make any enemies or anything. That's just not my cup of tea. You know what I mean?
Right. And I'm not trying to make enemies either, but inquiring minds want to know. You know what I mean? Like I said, I have nothing but the utmost respect for these athletes. But on the same note, like, professionalism is what it is. And at this level of pay and exposure, like, we expect you guys to be on weight. So Michael says on the broadcast that they said that she was caring for her sick father. So yeah, maybe that is true. Maybe that is where I heard it too.
Yeah.
But either way, you know what I mean? If you know you're not going to give it your 100, and your opponent definitely is, because Sonya was dropping down from 155, 165, I think, for this. So, if you're not going to give your 100, don't make somebody else not give their 100 either. That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying. That is kind of crazy, but kudos to those girls. They fucking made history. It's the
Yeah.
coolest shit ever. Either way.
It was like a historic moment when it comes to this past weekend. Whether if you guys were checking out with the all women's card on the boxing side between Shields and Marshall, and of course what we saw at BYOB. To me though, all those girls have every right to be proud of themselves, regardless if they won or lost. They got a chance to say, "Hey, we made some history. This is something that's going to be talked about forever." So I do want to say kudos to Sonya and Jamie on having the first ever women's fight on there. And
Yeah.
to me, kudos to both Barber and Cotton on the amazing title fight. To
Yeah.
me, though, and this is something I really want to get just talked about, is that when it comes to any promotions, I don't care if you're an amateur promotion or if you're a pro promotion, you got to give these ladies an opportunity that they deserve. Because to me, growing up here in West Virginia, these ladies do not get the opportunity that they don't deserve because the only time that we ever get a chance to see the women is if they were to be on so fight just to try to bring publicity. And in case you guys don't know what I'm talking about, here in West Virginia, we only have a couple of fight promotions: King of the Mountain, Tough Man, and of course Rough and Rowdy. I don't know if you guys are aware of Rough and Rowdy, but to me, I really feel like that they need to start taking these ladies very seriously because it's more than just hyping it up for like say for a 1-2 hillbilly to take on an actual fighter. So to me, I really feel like they need to start taking women seriously when it comes to boxing or it comes to any sort of fighting style, regardless. Because to me, as a fan, as a huge supporter of the women, I want these ladies to go out and do incredible, whether you're an amateur or pro. I don't want them to be taken as a joke like some of these promotions have been doing towards their women's fights.
I agree. I agree 100%. Uh, Out here in Colorado, I am a ring announcer for a local boxing promotion here at Airtight Boxing. We actually have an event on Friday. I will be going live. I don't know if you're on Facebook, but yeah, there is a group called All Angles Boxing and Combat Sports Channel. And Dave Trujillo from the West Coast is involved. Caesar. We've got the Ring Card Girl of the Year involved. Cutman of the Year, Big Surge is involved in this channel, and me as well. And so I give my perspective as ring announcer, and I'm going to go live before the event and show like everything that takes place for me to get ready to do my job properly as an announcer. Give sponsors their due credit, give the promoters and the athletes their due credit, and to hype the crowd. I personally feel like there's a lot of announcers out there that don't bring the level of energy that I do to the ring, or to the cage, or to wherever it may be. I've only announced boxing rings, or boxing cards, boxers, however you want to say it. But I would love to do any and all of the combat sports. Sparta SE, they put out an ad and I applied, so I'm hoping to hear back from them, and maybe might start doing some part-time work for them. But I feel like the women in general, and I'm throwing myself in there as an announcer, but women in general bring a different energy to an event. And especially combat sports, it is so male driven and so testosterone driven, that that energy is just overwhelming. And girls, every time, it doesn't matter if it's boxing, MMA, Muay Thai, bare knuckle, every time that there's a girls fight on the card, well, 9 out of 10 times, there's only one fight with him this year that I can say that might not have the case on it. But every time, the girls always get the crowd going more. The crowd is louder for the girls' fights. They enjoy the girls' fights more. They end up saying that, oh man, that was better than the main event. You know what I mean? And it's like, fuck yeah, it is. The girls bring a whole new level of tenacity to the sport. We're more meticulous about it. We're more methodical about it, and I'm just super excited. My promoter, Steve Mestis. So I'm coming back full circle here, back to my boxing promoter, Steve Mestis. He has hinted in the past about having an all-female card before, and he wasn't able to pull it off when he originally said, but he is hinting at it again for December. Nothing is set in stone right now, but he is definitely throwing the hints out there. He's definitely trying to get those players in that ball. I really fucking hope he can do this, because that would be so cool. So fucking cool. But then I'm also the kind of person where I'm like, I feel like if you're going to have an all-female card, an all-female boxer card, you should have a female ring announcer. You should have female judges, and you should have female referees. Like, if we're going to go all-female, let's do it right and let it be all-female. It's really hard, and I understand, like, it's almost impossible to do that because it's such a male-driven sport. But with the time and the patience and the funding behind it, it's doable. It's doable. And nothing against Big Mo. He did a great job. I've worked with him out here in Colorado before. You know what I mean? He's a really nice guy. We've have our love and our hate, I'm sure, but because I'm kind of shadowing him in this little local scene anyway. I don't think I'll ever be a Big Mo ever, but a girl can dream. And no, but so he did great. But I really would have loved to have seen a female announcer out there on that boxer card. I'm not gonna lie, like, I was like, damn, they didn't get a girl out there. The fuck? How is this an all-female card? The fuck? But all right.
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like with the Conflict MMA, and pretty much they had like the whole card was all women's fights, but then you see the male referees and you hear the male commentating. I mean, it's kind of like that situation. So I'm hoping, and you keep me updated on this. Hopefully, all referees, all female commentators, and of course, what you do with the announcing, that will be really incredible.
Yeah, no, I definitely would have dibs on that card. I know that he's co-promoted with some smaller boxing promotions around the area, and so because he co-promotes sometimes I have to co-announce with other announcers sometimes too, which I'm okay with, with plenty of heads up. I'm totally good with, you know what I mean? Let me do my few, you do your few, and we'll have a great night of it. Wesley
Exactly.
at Kill Eagle, he's got a great energy for him. He says, check out our event for a totally different energy. Let's fight childhood cancer. Yep. So all of Wesley's, oh wow.
Wow.
Oh wow, I'll get to that. Hang on, Mason. So Wesley, um, he promotes a lot of different events. He has bare knuckle on some of his cards. He does some Muay Thai and MMA and boxing. He has all of the different sports in one event, and all of them are to help fund and support childhood cancer awareness and help, you know what I mean, the research and all the different programs. He does really great things out of Montana. I would really hope to announce for him one day. It would be an honor to travel. Montana's not that far from Colorado, but we'll see if he shoots me a DM. If he needs me, I'm always here. If not, my feelings are never hurt. But I want to travel and do this one day. Mason, holy crap!
Wow.
Mason says Big Mo sucks. What? I hate to say that because I don't personally know him, but I don't feel like he knows all that much about the sport. Plus, having such a huge guy announcing all the fighters, even heavyweight fighters, looks funny to me personally.
Wow.
Listen, Big Mo has been around the sport for a really long time, actually. So he's local to Denver Metro, like Superior area, a little bit closer to the mountains and the foothills. But he has been around the sport a long time. He started out here for the same promotion I work for now, Airtight Boxing, and grown and done amazing things. I think he does a really great job on the mic, and I like the size of him because that alone brings the eye to the ring, you know what I mean? And that's his shtick. He is Big Mo. I wish I had a cool nickname like that. I'm Britt B Lit because I have B Lit Organics. I don't have my sticker right now, but my little side hustle candle company, soap company, so Big Mo is good people. I have nothing bad to say about him. He's allowed me the opportunities to work with him, to work, and kind of shadow him. So I can't, you know what I mean? I can't, even if I want to hate on the guy, I can't hate on the guy. You know what I'm saying? He's doing things that I aspire to do. So, I will say, like, he did mess up in the BYB card and totally buffed it. I was like, whoa, Mo. But you know what I mean? It happens to us all. It happens to us all. Totally.
Oh
Um,
God. I'm gonna tell you this though. At least you don't get called Jake from State Farm like I have ever since
oh,
that
man.
commercial.
No, but I get, oh my God, like Britney Spears? You're Britney.
Oh,
Like Britney Spears. That's what I got growing up.
see, like people always wonder, like, do you get called Jake from State Farm? The question is, yes. I've always been called that ever since my senior high school. Wait for quick. Just seems like that censor thing that would be a fighting, not talking. I agree.
So, yeah, and I could see where you say that. Big Mo did play football. He used to be big. Like, I'm telling you, he's lost a lot of weight. A lot of weight. He is really slimmed down. He was Big Mo, not just Big
Yeah.
Mo. He played football. I think he did do a little bit of combat sports, but his passion is acting. He is actually hoping that the ring announcing thing will lead him into the acting world and Hollywood. Essentially, that's where he wants to go with it. So how are you 7'15" and shut the
Oh my
fuck up,
God.
Mason.
I gotta take my hat off on this one.
Oh man, I love it. I love the banter and the
Um,
shit talk. It's some of my favorite. That's great.
you know, back to what we were talking about when it comes to how valuable these women need to be on the card. When I talked about Rough and Rowdy, there was a couple of women I got to send a shout out to. Hot Wheels, Casey Wheeler, Tanya Hopkins, of course, Cherry Bomb herself, and of course, Courtney Cameron, that pretty much have brought in so much of the attention that these women have truly deserved because not too many people know that Casey Wheeler was just like Bridges from England. She was a ring girl herself before she transitioned to go to be a boxer. So to me, I really hope that everyone that sees these women need to take them very seriously. And pretty much you'll end up hearing what you said. Oh yeah, that was so much better than the main event. Well, to me, every women's fight is gonna be better. What more do you expect? Because you expect to see so much. And me and a friend of mine, Zaria, we talked about this earlier. Is that these women deserve so much incredible and pretty much the platform they deserve. I really hope for your sakes that they will have an all women's card. I would love to see an all women's card in bare knuckle, an all women's card on UFC as well. And of course, talk about that. Yes, Courtney Cameron doing her thing. It was absolutely incredible. I remember. I know you was with her. You was hyping her up. I was hyping her up, and it's no disrespect towards Crystal Pittman, but it's just we know Courtney and we admire so much what Courtney Cameron can do inside that ring, and for her to be this quote unquote underdog, she went in there and she pretty much killed it. So that's why we have to give all the love and support to Courtney Cameron because of how much we know her and how much we love and respect her.
Hmm.
And back to my point is that Joe, and this is something I really love about what me you do, and of course what all the other interviewers out there do. We pretty much take our time to get a chance to share these stories that all the women need to get a chance to share, whether if they've been bullied or went through an abused relationship, whatever it may be, because people will just focus on what they do in the ring or in the cage, but they don't know the story behind that fighter. They don't understand the struggles and everything. And to me, I think that it's a really huge blessing to get a chance to do what me you're doing, to have the opportunity, to have the platform to let these voices need to be shared because you never understand what these fighters go through until the time of the fight. So that's why we have to love and admire all these women fighters out there, no matter what they're doing. And to me, to get a chance to be able to talk to you, to get a chance to talk to people that are involved with this interview stuff, makes my job so much easier because y'all understand what we have to do, what we have to go through just to be able to make sure we get the right questions, the right stories, everything to talk about, just to be able to share so much about a fighter. It's unbelievable.
Yep, I agree totally. Women definitely. I've talked to a lot of them, and Courtney Cameron and I mean, we're homies. We go back. She lived in this room back here. For a little over a year in 2019 and 20. So I've worked with her closely, even helped her through weight cuts for some of her amateur fights. Um, she has a very similar story to a lot of these other girls, of um, of abuse in one way, shape, or form or another, and she uses that to fuel, all of these beautiful things that she's doing with her life now, and it doesn't define who she is, but it has molded her into who she has become, and she really has become the headhunter. I kudos to her. She does have an incredible I'm sorry, amateur career in MMA, Muay Thai, boxing. She's done tournaments, and so for her to come and have not only her pro debut, but her bare knuckle debut, and to do it in her hometown, that's a dream come true right there. I'm not going to say you're never going to get another high like that as an athlete, but the chances are slimmer. You know what I'm
Slim to
saying?
none.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, let's be real. A lot of these local athletes aren't going to go UFC and be on, $1 million pay-per-views with Conor McGregor, right? They're not going to, you know what I mean? Like, Courtney's a mom. She has a job. She has a life. She fights because she loves to fight. And and she just has this drive and this passion for it, you know. And so, you know, I think that was that, not that that was the peak of her career, but that high, I don't know that that's obtainable for a lot of these girls, you know,
Yeah.
in more than once, or definitely as often as some of these big named athletes get, you know. And but it's such a beautiful moment to be able to watch and see for her. Like, I couldn't be more happy for her. She went out there and she performed beautifully. Crystal Pittman has trained at, you know, she was training out in California. Then she, you know, switched up her whole life. She realized this lifestyle is not healthy for me. It's not productive. I am not bettering myself mentally or physically in this life and this situation anymore. And she moved across the country, changed her whole camp, which, mind you, Courtney changed her camp and her gym too before this fight. So you know what I mean? These girls have similar stories of abuse and overcoming fucking life, man.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't be more happy for either one of them. Crystal is so fucking tough. So tough. They couldn't have given Courtney a more tough opponent. You know what I'm saying? Like, they really couldn't have. Like, they did not give her an easy, you know, nobody Kansas debuter. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They gave her Crystal Pittman, and that fight was in the works for a couple years. And I'm just so fucking happy for her because she did. She went out there, and my heart always wants to root for the underdog. You know what I mean? Like, that's the fan in me. I always want to root for the underdog because I know that the upper hand has been the underdog before. You know what I'm saying? So I like rooting for the underdog. I want to see people who are losing win. I want to see the new guys win. I want to see people do well. Not that
Yeah.
I want to see the upper hand guy lose, but I just want to see the under guys do well. And she went out there and she proved everybody wrong. Everybody at her old gym, in her old life. She proved everybody wrong. So kudos to Courtney the Headhunter Cameron for taking fight of the night in your pro debut and your bare knuckle debut for the BKFC 31 here in Denver. Girl, I couldn't be more happy for you. And yes, Mason, so I hope that kind of answers your question. If you do not train for the altitude or come out here, I'm telling you, like a month in advance, you will gas out. You will burn and feel like you're suffocating by the second round. I guarantee you. And I'm like, don't quote me on this, and I might have semi false information here, but I believe Isaac Doolittle came out to Denver about 2 weeks before his fight to altitude acclimate. And although he did that, he still gassed himself out in that second round. If he would have, I think he should have paced that second round a little bit better and then thrown that on Richmond in the third. I do think Isaac has a huge, huge opportunity to beat um, the Mike the Marine Richmond. Now, don't get me wrong. I love both of those fighters. I love their differences of styles. I thought that was a great matchup. I was super excited to see it. I want to see that fight at sea level, though. I want to see that fight at sea level, and I want to see a different Isaac Doolittle in that one.
See,
Why women having to deal with abuse in the first place is unacceptable. To see a strong woman overcome it. Yeah. Yep. Girl dads, you know it, man. And it's unfortunate, you know, like look, she's here. Hey, Headhunter. What's up,
hey.
mama?
There was something I really want to get to say before move on. Is that to me, when I first met Courtney, she was pretty much a really huge follower of the page, and to me, the first time I ever got a chance to have her join me on the Fight Now, I remember like we was just like talking about so much, and the more that you listen to her story, I've tried so hard not to break down for her because it's so touching. It really hits your heart once you hear her story, and to me, I knew without a doubt that this girl was going to do so incredible going into Denver. And to me, if you think about it, Crystal was like the perfect opponent for her in her debut. If you think about it, if you gave her Jade Mason Wong, don't get me wrong, she's incredible. I don't know how the outcome would be, but I feel like Crystal Pittman, with her knowledge and everything that she's done for Miracle, was simply exactly what Courtney needed to get a chance to have that fire, to get a chance to have that strive, to be where she needed to be. And by gosh, she took that opportunity and she ran off with it, got the win, fight of the night. And to me, it's like with her and Brittany Beltran. I don't know if you got a chance to talk to her. I've got a chance to interview her twice, and she shares her story about how struggle things could be once when she first started. I mean, she was with a wrong person at the wrong time. She did boxing before coming to bare knuckle, and all of a sudden, look at where she is now. All the hell that she has went through from that fight against Christine Fiera to now to dropping down the weight to be where she's at is so unbelievably incredible. I think about Courtney. I think about Brittany with all the hell that they put themselves through, with everything they've gone through, that magic moment whenever they have their arm raised and get a chance to see all the love that they're getting. To me, it makes me happy to see them getting the success that they are. And Courtney, without doubt, she came in there, showed everyone that, I don't care if I'm the underdog. I don't care. I'm willing to be able to show everyone why you should bet on me. And from our time, we've got a chance to talk about our love for Motionless in White, to talking about many other things. So to me, I'm just so proud of her. I'm just so happy for her because to me, as a friend, I will always want to see the best for my friends who are pretty much fighting. And for Courtney, I couldn't be happier. I was just like screaming, "Let's effing go!" and I about woke up my neighbors. So
Oh man, the crowd around me was really confused on who I was rooting for because I couldn't pick, you know what I mean? Like Courtney's my homie, like literally has lived with me, and I know her, I know her kids. Mind you, like we went a little period there where we haven't talked as much as we used to, but I mean, we reconnected just like that. You know what I mean? That's just how I am with a lot of people. And Crystal, I've just been a fan of since day one. Before she even had her debut at BKSC, I saw her at all of the different events that I worked and attended as a fan and a sponsor. And so I just kind of clicked with her and, stayed in contact with her and watched her grow and evolve as an athlete and a person. And she's just always been so nice and so kind and just uh just the energy and the aura of Crystal Pittman is just gorgeous and beautiful. Not, I mean, she's beautiful, her skin and her shell is obviously, but just literally her aura is just beautiful. And so I really just couldn't pick. I was literally screaming in the stands. I had beautiful, I'm telling you, like direct line of sight of the entire ring. No cameras, no floor in the way. No, and you know what I mean? No seats, no rafters in the way, nothing in the way of my sight. And I couldn't get up, Pittman, get up, Courtney, uppercut her, Courtney. You know what I mean? Like just going
oh
fucking
man.
nuts for both of them. It was the people like in front of me were like, the fuck is this girl? Like, is she this fucked up?
They probably
So
they probably be like looking at you like, is this chick okay?
no, I am not okay. My friends are out there. And that's
Oh my
what makes it
god.
hard, diving this deep into the communities is because you do make these friendships and these connections with these people, and you do end up learning them and knowing them on personal levels too. To some extent, nobody knows anybody behind closed doors, right? But to some extent you have an idea, and you want nothing but the best for all of them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's fun, man. It's fun. I love combat sports, and I'm honored and grateful to just be a part of it all, as I'm sure you are. To be able to
Yeah.
build these relationships, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, it truly is. And this is something I really want to share since I have the opportunity. To me, though, like this platform has saved my life more than a couple of times because to me, I have fought with depression, anxiety. There was a time where I had to stop doing interviews just to be able to get myself better. And from that point on to pretty much thinking about things I shouldn't be thinking about. This community, this platform has saved my life. All the friends I've got a chance to meet have helped me more than you can imagine. You've also helped me out at one point because without you, without the amazing people, I wouldn't be here without you guys. So to me, Brittany, I just know that I am so thankful for you as a friend, as a supporter, as much as you have really inspired me to continue to be a better interviewer every single time I see your interviews. Between you, Zaria, to many other people out there, it's really unbelievable. And to anyone that's watching this who has not gotten involved with this in any sort of way, what are you guys doing? You guys are missing out on probably the best community you can ever think of. It is so beautiful. It is so incredible. So I'm telling you guys, it doesn't matter if it's interviews, fighting, just production crews. I don't care what it is that you do, just get involved because regardless of what happens, you'll see so much changes on you, especially mentally. Because I've had my moments, especially on the mental side, but without a doubt, this community is pretty much will help you no matter how many times you've fallen down. They will help you get right back up.
Absolutely, 100%. I agree. I myself, like you, struggle with anxiety, self-doubt, depression. I have, body dysmorphia, and I'm literally sitting here ripping the skin off the side of my fingers because I have social anxiety too. You wouldn't really know that about me because I'm just really loud personality, but I have social anxiety too. So yeah, I totally understand and get that all of this, helps each other, in our darkest of darks, whether it be if you're an actual athlete and you use that to get in the ring, or if you're like you and I who just want to, be a part of the community and do something bigger for everyone involved. It's we're all here to just make each other better and to grow as individuals in the long run. um
Yeah, without doubt, without doubt. To me, though, with all these friendships I've made over the past couple of years and the friendships I'm making now, it's a really huge blessing. It's a really huge blessing to get a chance to be able to get a chance to be surrounded by people who would, if you feel like you didn't have friends back then, by the time you get involved with this community, you'll end up having some of the bestest friends you can ever ask for. And so,
Absolutely.
the crazy thing is though, is I get a chance to be able to live my life, get a chance to, interview these fighters, sponsor these fighters, I've been doing these last couple of months, and even sponsoring events. To me, it's like, without the amount of friends and the amount of support, I don't know where I would be. And no matter how tough it was having to leave, the Jay and Trey podcast. I mean, without them, I mean, I wouldn't be standing here to be able to have these interviews. So that's pretty much the only positive thing I can really say about that is that they've helped me more to be able to start something that I can be able to continue on.
Right. Yeah. And life is all about different experiences and stepping stones, to get to the end in the big picture. We're all here to learn different lessons and to experience different, you know, things throughout, our existence here, and to take it all with a grain of salt. There's a lesson in everything, whether it be a high or a low, or even, on that mediocre plane. There's a lesson in everything. But I couldn't agree more. I'm grateful for the friendships and the connections made. I'm grateful for you allowing me on your platform. I'm so grateful for the time that you're sharing with me tonight and coming on my platform. Time is one of the few things in this world that we have, and the one thing in this world that we'll never get back. So
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you shared yours with me tonight. If there's anybody else you want to shout out or thank,
Uh,
or any sponsors that you might have, feel free to do so now, and then we can wrap it up.
First of all, I want to send a shout out to Combat Sports Coverage because they just had their big event this past weekend. So thank you guys for allowing me to get a chance to sponsor you guys. It's been an honor. It's been incredible. Teamwork is the dream work. Also, since she possibly could be watching this, but to Aroma Wellness for the essential oils for what they've been doing for me, it's been incredible. And the last thing I want to get a chance to say is that, to me, don't think of me as a guy who just does interviews. Think of me as a guy who pretty much tries to to do his best for all the women in the community. That's the only thing I want to be recognized for. Is don't think of me as, well, he's just an interviewer. No, a guy that's willing to take his time and his effort to get a chance to highlight the women that they deserve to be highlighted. And most of all, Brittany, thank you so much for allowing me to get a chance to be a part of the show. It was a fun time. Thank you guys to all the comments. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to have to get me some merchandise for sure once I get paid tomorrow night. So expect me to start wearing a Brawling Babes with Brittany shirt for sure. And also, if you guys want to get just to follow me, go follow me on Instagram at The Fighting Now. I have some merchandise, which will be the link in my bio. Thanks to MMAtees.com. So thank you guys so much for all that you do.
Awesome. Well, you are awesome. Thank you for all that you do for the women of combat sports. I know they appreciate it. I know I do too. And I can't wait. We'll do this again. Totally. Let's make this
Absolutely.
like a quarterly thing or something. You know what I mean? Like we'll just
I'm
get
down.
together, shoot the shit, talk about some of our favorite fights of the year or something.
Yeah, I'm definitely down. Also, don't forget, I have a couple more interviews tomorrow. I think myself, my good friend Zaria and Erica are going to be doing something Friday on Instagram, and of course, I have another interview on Thursday and Friday night. So expect more to come. So, and hopefully, we'll get a chance to have you guys involved. So hopefully, get a chance to have you involved. But hey, thank you guys for the comments. If you guys are watching from my side, from my end, go and follow this girl on Instagram. Go subscribe to her channel because I've always been a fan of hers. I've subscribed to the channel. So yeah, what are you guys doing? You're missing out on a great opportunity.
Oh, I appreciate all the love. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. Well, I won't keep you any longer. We've been chatting about an hour. My kids are sitting here staring at me on the stairs, ready for tucked in and bedtimes.
Yeah,
But we'll stay in touch. I can't wait to chat with you again.
it's gonna be an honor. It's gonna be awesome. Can't wait.
All right. We'll see you soon.
See you guys.
Later. All right, you guys. So that was Jake from the Fighting Now podcast. He's a really nice guy. Like me, he loves female combat sports. He puts out some really awesome content, a little risque content sometimes, some hump day Wednesday content sometimes. But he's a good dude, and I appreciate what he does for the women of combat sports. So it was an honor to talk to him, give him the opportunity to promote his platform. But I got to give a shout out to all of my supporters, all of my sponsors, Dave Trujillo and the All Angles Boxing and Combat Sports channel. Thank you so very much for this platform. Den City Plumbing and Construction. If you are in the Denver metro area and you need help with a home remodel or you need a plumber, they are open 24/7. So give them a call, 970-467-5258. Also, HKAUSA.com. They have all the right gear to dominate your lifestyle. If you need headgear, boxing gloves, mitts, shin pads, anything, Nick Sampson can even customize your fight night walkout outfit. So give them a look up. Again, that's www.hkusa.com. JustBlazedClothing.com. They, again, have hats, hoodies, t-shirts, ashtrays, rolling trays, everything you need to keep your mind just right and to stay just blazed. They also have all of the official all of the official Brawling Babes with Brittany merchandise, and use code JustBlazed at the checkout for 10% off of all of the merchandise there. And then my last one, another partner of mine. This is another local business to the Denver Metro, the Southern Pit. From the mountains to the south, you'll put his meat in your mouth. Mario, my homie at the Southern Pit, he's got a food truck, Memphis style barbecue. It is delicious. I will tag him and his truck in the comments later. But that's going to be it for me for tonight. I will be live again, not here, but on the All Angles Boxing and Combat Sports channel on Friday evening. I'm going to go live and show you guys my whole process before going live in the ring to do some ring announcing for Airtight Boxing and Ghost Town Promotions co-promoted event Reloaded. That's going to be at the Stampede in Denver, Colorado. Well, really Aurora, but whatever, potato. So anyway, check out the All Angles Boxing and Combat Sports channel page. There's a group on Facebook. I tag them all the time. Oh yeah, one more. Tanas Botanas. You guys, I talked to Roslyn Chula Chivada. This is one of her sponsors. It's a female-owned company, Tanas Botanas, out of Arizona. So these are the Sour Patch watermelons, but they're spicy. Oh my God, they're so good. That's what I was snacking on over here. So go get you some Tanas Botanas. Anyways, that's it. That's not a sponsor of mine, but a shout out because it's so good. I'm done. I'll see you guys Friday. Have a great night. Bye.